Meals Day 2. Essential question. How do you simplify an expression with negative exponents? So the property needed in this lesson is the negative exponent property. So you'll notice here if I have a to the negative n, my exponent n is negative. So the way that this works is that you can always write anything as a fraction, and you do that by putting it over 1. Now we never want to leave a negative exponent in our answer. So the way that this works is if you have a negative exponent on the top, you move it to the bottom and it becomes positive. And the rule is the same the other way. If you have the negative exponent on the bottom, you can move it to the top and make it positive. Simplify each expression. Your answer should contain only positive exponents. So before you're done, make sure you only have positive exponents in your answer. All right, so we have x to the negative 4th, y to the 9th, over z to the negative 6th. The first thing I always do is I circle my negative exponents. That means those are the things that are going to need to move. Everything that circle has to move somewhere else because it can't stay negative. So then I just start in the upper left. So I start with x to the negative 4th first. Now I know that negative 4 can't stay negative, so I'm going to move it to the bottom from the top and make the 4 negative. Y to the 9th, that has a positive exponent, so that one is just fine. I'm going to write y to the 9th on the top still, so that stays where it is. And z to the negative 6th, that can't be negative, so I have to move it from the bottom to the top, and I'll make it positive. So essentially what I did is I took this x to the negative 4th and moved it to the bottom, and I moved this z to the negative 6th and moved it to the top. Now when I check my answer, all of my exponents, 9, 6, and 4, are positive. We might have to write some of them out and simplify, but if I have y's and z's on the top and x's on the bottom, no variables will cancel, so I'm done. Remember that a variable has to be on the top and the bottom in order for it to cancel. If nothing will cancel, you're done. All right, n to the negative 5th, p to the 4th, divided by r to the negative 2nd. All right, so I'm going to circle my negative exponents. So I have a negative 5 and I have a negative 2. So I'm going to take that n to the negative 5th, and I can't keep it negative. I have to change it positive, so that means I have to move it to the bottom, make it positive. P to the 4th is positive, so I can leave that on the top. And then r to the negative 2nd, I'm going to move from the bottom to the top. So I did the same 2 steps on this one as I did on the last one. I moved the n to the negative 5th to the bottom, the r to the negative 2nd to the top, and I made everything positive. Positive 4, positive 2, positive 5. I have p's and r's on the top, n's on the bottom, so that means no variables will cancel, because a variable has to be on the top and the bottom to cancel, so I'm all done. All right, now we have coefficients in front of our variables. So I have this 75 over 15, which I can simplify that. I can see how many times can 15 go into 75. Well, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75. So 5 times. So I'm going to write that as a fraction, 5 over 1. So then I'm going to circle all of my negative exponents. So I have a negative 5 here, a negative 4 here, and a negative 8 here. So I'm going to move from left to right. So we already changed the 75 over 15 to 5 over 1. So then I can leave the p to the 3rd as p to the 3rd. The m to the negative 5th has to move to the bottom and become positive. Then I go to the bottom, so I already dealt with that and that. P to the 5th is positive, so it stays where it is. M to the negative 4th is negative, so it has to move to the top. And r to the negative 8th is negative, so it has to move to the top. Now this one you'll notice I have p's on the top and bottom, and I have m's on the top and bottom, so I have to write those out. So if I write it out, then I have 5, I have 3 P's, I have 4 M's, and I have 8 R's. Divided by 1 and then 5 M's and 5 P's. Now I'll cancel. P, 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 M, 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 M. All right. So now that leaves me with, I'll move over here, 5 over 1. I have 8 R's on top, and I have 1 M on the bottom and 1 P on the bottom. So here is my answer, 5R to the 8th divided by MP. And one other reminder that I forgot to tell you, before you write everything out like I did right here, make sure you have all positive exponents, which we did, all positive exponents. All right, 5R to the negative 3rd over T to the 4th divided by negative 20 R squared T to the 7th U to the negative 5th. So let's start by simplifying 5 over negative 20. So the number that can go into both of those is 5. So 5 over 5 is 1. Negative 20 divided by 5 is negative 4. So we're going to put a 1 over a negative 4. Then I'm going to go through and do my circling. Any negative exponents I'm circling. There's just 2 this time. Then I'll go from right to left in my problem. So I've got the fraction. R to the negative 3rd has to move to the bottom and become positive. T to the 4th can stay on the top. R squared can stay on the bottom. T to the 7th can stay on the bottom. And U to the negative 5th has to move to the top and become positive. So now on this one, we've got a little bit of canceling that we can do. So I'll write it out. 1, 4 T's, 5 U's, a negative 4, 3 R's, 2 R's, and 7 T's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So then if I cancel, I can cancel some of these T's. T, 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 T. Okay, so my final answer, I've got 5 U's, I've got 5 U's, yep, and 5 R's, and 3 T's. So this right here is my answer. Last one, 2a squared b to the 3rd over c to the negative 5th over 10a to the negative 3rd, b to the negative 1st, c to the negative 4th. All right, so 2 over 10, 2 can go into both, 2 and 10. So I'll simplify that fraction to be 1/5. And then I'm going to circle all my negative exponents. So negative 5, negative 3, negative 1, negative 4. So then I go left to right in the problem. A squared can stay where it is. E to the 3rd can stay where it is. C to the negative 5th has to move to the bottom and become positive. Then I go to the bottom. A to the negative 3rd needs to move to the top and become positive. B to the negative 1st has to go to the top and become positive. C to the negative 4th has to go to the top and become positive. So I've got a lot on the top and not too much on the bottom now. So if I write that out, I've got 2 A's, and you'll notice I also have 3 A's here, so I'm just going to put them all next to each other. It doesn't really matter. 3 B's from right here, and then I also have 1 more B, and then 4 C's, and then on the bottom I have 5 C's. And then when I cancel, there are no A's and B's on the bottom, so there's nothing I can cancel there. I can only cancel C's. Okay, so for my answer, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 A's, 1, 2, 3, 4 B's, and a 5 on the bottom, and just 1 C. Summary. The homework for this lesson is page 412, numbers 10, 15 through 17, 21, 26, and 32 through 39.